everyone, it's Ken and Andrea here from Northern Viking Explorer. Today we want to do a quick review of the layout and amenities of Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas. We recently took this cruise to Alaska and we're excited to share with you our thoughts on this ship. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So Andrea, let's dive into the layout and amenities of the Ovation of the Seas.
Okay, first off, I think this layout is nearly perfect.
I would 100% agree. This is one of the best layouts I've seen on a cruise ship.
Now, one of my favorite spaces, though, is the 270. And I know you agree. So why don't you explain the 270?
Okay, the 270 is just phenomenal in there. So it's a 270-degree theater of glass, I guess it is what you would call it. And it's multiple stories. You access it at the aft of the ship on deck 5, but it goes up to deck 6 and it might even go lower in the back. It's gorgeous. So during the day you can go sit in there on the couches or lounge chairs, and there's great sight lines. I guess the stages, some of them rise up and down, and even like the cruise director would come up in the middle of the plant somewhere. It's gorgeous. And they'll have dance classes, different things throughout the day, or activities, and then at night they can do their performances in there. Phenomenal. Really, really beautiful theater. They did tell us it cost $33 million to build that theater, and that is probably one of the nicest theaters I've ever seen on a cruise ship.
Absolutely. And I even loved how they had a lot of variety of seating type. So if you want kind of more theater seating, if you want to sit up at a bar and have a beverage and watch, if you want to sit on a couch, like it's like really a multi-purpose, multifunctional, beautiful, beautiful space.
Yes, for sure. It was really nice to go in there. I was really impressed with that. The other thing I do want to talk about is the main theater as well.
Oh,
The Royal Theater at the front of the ship. Massive theater, amazing sight lines. You can come in on the balcony, you can come in down below. It's tapered. It's like a traditional cruise ship theater that they put performances in there.
I really appreciate it. And what was even more amazing to me is 15 minutes before the show, there is still seating available.
And we can't say that for every cruise, but for our cruise, there was seating available very close to the showtime. So that was awesome.
And it's big. And we were on a sailing that was at max capacity.
Yes.
And so they really designed this venue large enough for this cruise ship.
100%. It's a gorgeous theater. One of the best I've seen at sea as well. And the sight lines, there's very few seats that don't have a good view of the stage. And it's a traditional stage where it's raised up, and they put on amazing performances there as well.
Now, I'm probably stealing this from your list.
Probably.
We keep separate lists, but we tend to talk.
Yeah.
I love the Royal Esplanade, the promenade, interior shopping, mall kind of feeling.
I've said this for years. That's one of my favorite things on cruise ships is the mall feeling kind of in the middle, the Royal Esplanade. I actually have that on my list. It feels, even at night, you feel like you can go wander back and forth and just kind of get a nice big open experience. They've got the pubs in there, the little shops. They've got the music hall in that area, and it's just a fun place to walk back and forth.
Well, and you hear the music coming out of all of those other venues as you walk by, and it's really quite a lovely experience with their little cafes and the shopping centers. You know, I love being out and looking at the ocean, but it's sometimes nice to come in and have that.
No, for sure. I have a few comments about things, and I want to come back to that in a moment.
Sure.
Can I go through a couple here that I really liked?
Absolutely.
So I really liked how long the running track was.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was, I think, over 500 meters.
I think it's 553.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was quite long. So you really nice and long. I do have a wish for that a little bit later. But the outdoor pool area was really nice. But they also had the indoor pool area. So especially on an Alaskan cruise where it was cooler, the indoor area would be quite full.
For everybody.
Yeah.
So kids, adults, everybody was welcome in there.
So that kind of brings me, though, to I love this was the Solarium, and I know you love this as well. It's one of the reasons you wanted to go on this ship was the Solarium.
Absolutely, the 270 and the Solarium. When you see pictures of it, you're like, this is what I want to go to Alaska on.
Yeah, the pools in the middle of the Solarium are kind of tapered infinity pools that come down. Then at the bottom, there's two large hot tubs, and each of those hot tubs is kind of two hot tubs.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like 4 hot tubs there, full glass around it. Now, I'm trying to remember, is that at the front of the ship or the back of the ship?
That's
the front of the ship.
The front of the ship.
Yeah, so it's at the front of the ship. You can even go out on the side and stand on top of the bridge. They have little doors there. It's beautiful. The Solarium, again, especially that's why this ship is so good for Alaska. There's so many indoor areas where you can see everything.
And what I thought was really cool about both the 270 and the Solarium is they had coffee shops or bistros really close to them.
Yes.
So they're both easy to take a snack or some
or go
food.
get breakfast in the Solarium bistro. Yeah.
It's like really easy to enjoy those venues throughout the day. Really well done.
I have some smaller things I just want to go through. They've got a flow rider on there, which is, if you like that sort of thing, that's awesome that they have that. They also had the iFly skydiving simulator as well.
Yeah.
So they keep you busy with that kind of stuff. The gym was large.
It was beautiful.
It was multi-leveled. It was huge. Really, probably
one of the nicest I've seen.
I think that's probably the nicest gym I've seen on a cruise ship.
I did like the 2-level, like where they would hold the classes down lower. That was kind of fun. And they also held the contests for the draw for the spa was in there as well.
Yeah, it's on top. It's one level above the spa, and really nice.
Yeah.
In that. So I think that's. I mean, I could go on all day. There's so many beautiful venues. The music hall, 2 stories. They have a stage in there as well as a dance floor. The bars in there, pool tables, all sorts of cool stuff. It's just a beautiful, beautiful ship.
Amazing. And you think of the Seaplex.
Oh yeah, I didn't even mention that.
The Seaplex, it's huge. So I don't know how to describe how big that would be.
Well, it's basically a gymnasium in the middle where they do roller skating. They've got bumper cars there. Unfortunately, the bumper cars were broken this week, so.
I heard they were working on it though the following week, so it was temporary. But it's all inside.
Yeah.
But it's very light. Again. They have hot dogs in there. Like, there's food planned kind of everywhere around these venues as well.
Well, and then on the kind of upper promenade around the Seaplex, they had like foosball tables, ping pong tables. What's the...
not shuffleboard, but air hockey.
Air hockey tables. There was the Xbox kind of lounge. There was all sorts of stuff up there that you can do right above the Seaplex. So they play basketball. It was just an awesome venue, especially for the kids.
And adults. They also did family archery in there. Like a lot of different events. It was a super cool space.
Yeah.
You know, one other thing I want to mention about the layout is it was simple to figure out. I felt like you had your 3 main inside levels.
Yeah.
And then you had your 2 priority, like outdoor pool
levels.
and the level above the pool. So really simple. And I did like how the casino was lower. On a lot of cruise ships, you have to walk through the through the casino to get into the theater. You didn't need to do that on this ship.
It was kind of under the Royal Esplanade. So there's a big staircase, you can see it down below, and it kind of was behind the lower level of the music hall, but it was out of the way, but easy to access for those who want to use it.
Yeah.
Before we get into the wishes, I do have one more thing I want to say.
Yeah.
I felt like there was very little that was broken on the ship, and I say that with knowing that the bumper cars and the bumper cars were broken the whole week, and the bionic bar was only up and running the last couple of days of the. But little things, there wasn't chipped things. Our room was in excellent condition. There wasn't things broken off, things plugged, things...
No sign of wear and tear. Like, everything looked really clean and fresh.
And anything that was not working, it seemed like they were working on it. So, excellent ship. The layout and amenities, just awesome. But, wishes. Yeah. Do you have any?
This is pretty small, because I thought the ship was pretty close to perfect. There were times when activities let out, though, or different times of the day, that I felt the elevators were very, very busy and hard to get onto at times.
I don't have that on my list, but I would 100% agree. There were times where we had to wait. There's a bug. A big
You had to
mosquito.
wait, back. Is that how you get on the elevator? Let me on.
Yeah. So there was where we waited for a couple of times for the elevator to come, and then we just said forget it and walked the stairs.
Yeah. So I guess we should have just taken the stairs.
Yeah. So I mean that was only usually like right after a show, but it was more. So there's the midship elevators, which there's basically two banks midship, and then there's the front bank. So there wasn't aft elevators. So I think
get busy.
It did get busy for sure. But most cruise ships do get busy after the shows, but it just seemed extra busy.
Yeah, for sure. I'd have to agree.
I do want to say one thing though. I don't have footage of this, and I wish I did. There was a gentleman. They rolled a piano into one of the glass elevators, and he was playing it in the evening, going up and down, and you could hear it.
I have footage.
You do have footage.
Yes, it's
Ooh.
vertical though.
Oh,
but,
that's
yeah.
okay. That's cool. Yeah, it was really neat. You could hear it playing. And,
Yeah.
That's besides the point. But other wishes?
No, I just thought everything was pretty close to perfect.
I have a few little wishes. So I know I'd already kind of mentioned the bumper cars and the bionic bar. I said I love the running track, how long it is, but I don't love that there's lounge chairs around the running track. And it wasn't as big of a deal in Alaska because the weather was cooler and people weren't sitting outside as much. But I could see in a hotter climate, it would be super annoying.
But there was one time on our cruise that this was an issue.
Oh, yes. Yeah. You
This-
want to explain it?
Yeah. So when we went to see the Dawes Glacier, we go up the Endicott Arm. So the running track has an amazing view of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all out on the running track, and the staff are serving hot chocolate and coffee out there to us.
And it's probably the best views of the glacier from there.
And this was about 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
But there was probably 2 or 3 individuals that were clearly annoyed because they were trying to get their run in.
Mm-hmm.
And they were annoyed that we were all gathering to watch.
Not just us, hundreds of people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Gathering to watch the glaciers, and they're trying to get their run in. I get it. It's a running track, but it's also the glacier that you went to Alaska to see. So, I don't know.
There was a little conflict at that time. Nothing was said, but you could tell a little bit of annoyance there.
So, that's one of my wishes.
Okay.
I have a couple that kind of run together. So, the Lido deck at night, they really shut it down.
Yeah.
So, how would you say this? We were at the pool, the indoor pool that was open till, I think it was the indoor pool, open till midnight, but they started locking doors off. Like you can't go necessarily into the market or the Windjammer.
Yeah.
They'll shut off the doors. They started locking off doors. Even though the hot tubs were open till midnight, the towel station shut down at 10, so you couldn't get a towel. So you had to bring your own towel from your room. They even started chaining off the hot tub area at 11:25 when it was open till midnight. And I had to actually remove chains and pry the doors open to leave.
To get out.
And they seemed almost annoyed, but they'd left. Then they came running back, and it's like, well, you're open later, but they'd shut it all down.
They'd even locked the restrooms up there, and there was one woman upstairs on that deck who said, "There's not an open restroom up here."
Yeah.
She was quite
So
distressed
you
by that.
you couldn't wander the whole Lido deck. You had to, if you were there as kind of your section, they really shut the doors down and stopped you from doing that.
So I would have to agree in my wish is that if they're going to say that the venue is open to a specific time, keep it all open.
The whole area. Don't chain us into the hot tub.
Yeah. It makes you also feel like they don't want you up there anymore.
Yeah.
Even though it says that it's open, it's uninviting.
It was all fine, but it just seemed odd to me.
Yeah.
Other than that, the layout and amenities were absolutely phenomenal on the ship. Probably some of the best I've ever seen on a cruise ship.
An absolutely beautiful ship.
Mm-hmm.